Hi, this is Emily at the Kingsport Public Library. Today I'm going to walk you through getting started with Tennessee Reads and your e-reader. Here's what you'll need: your e-reader and the USB cord that goes with it, a desktop or laptop computer, your library card number, and an internet or Wi-Fi connection on that computer. And just so you know, this video is aimed at e-readers that cannot connect to Wi-Fi. Here's the steps we'll take in this video. Step 1, we'll create an Overdrive account. Step 2, we will download and install Adobe Digital Editions. Step 3, we will check out and download library ebooks. And Step 4, we will load the ebooks to the e-reader via Adobe Digital Editions. So for Step 1, hop on your computer and open your web browser. We will go to www.overdrive.com/account/sign-up. Your web browser icon may look like any of the following. Could be Safari if you're on an Apple device, Microsoft Edge if you're on a computer running a newer version of Windows, Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, or even Internet Explorer. Any of those will work. So I'm now going to exit the slides and walk you through. I'm going to be using Google Chrome, and in the bar at the top, I'm going to type in www.overdrive.com/account/sign-up. We are going to scroll down just a little bit. Unfortunately, we will not be using this sign up using library card. We want to fill out these boxes down below. So you're going to put in your name, your email address again, and then create a password. And finally, you'll click sign up. I'm going to pause the video while I set up my account. Welcome back. I just put in my information and signed up for an Overdrive account. So if you have just done the same thing, I recommend you write down what email address and what password you created to go with that account, because we will need to log in with it in just a moment. But first, if you look at the top of the screen, it does say the account is unverified. It sent an email to my email address to let me know that it needs to verify the account. So we're going to open a new tab, and my email address is at gmail.com, so that's where I'm going to go. You would go wherever your email address is located. That could be gmail.com, mail.yahoo.com, or it could be outlook.com. It could be any number of places, but wherever you log into your email, that's where you're going to go now. So I'm in my email. I do have an email from Overdrive. I'm going to click it, and there's a link for me to verify my email address. So I will click that. And now it says, in order to complete the account verification process, please click the verify button. So I'm going to click verify. And yay, we are totally done with step 1. We have created an Overdrive account. So we can open a new tab, and I recommend you go to google.com. And we are now starting step 2, which is to download and install Adobe Digital Editions. So on google.com, we are going to type in Adobe Digital Editions. And it is the first result here. You want to make sure it says www.adobe.com. And we're actually not going to click this one that says Adobe Digital Editions. We're actually going to click the one that says download, because that is going to take us straight to where we can install the software. So I'm using a Mac, so I would pick this top one. If you're using a Windows computer, you'd use the next one, but you'll just click on it and it will start downloading. If you are running a Mac like I am, you'll find your downloads down at the bottom of the screen in your dock, and it's this one here, ADE_4.5_installer.diskimage. And I would just click that to start running the installer. I'm going to go back to the slides because I want to show you where you'd find that file if you're running Windows. So if you're on a Windows computer, you will need to locate that Adobe Digital Editions installation software, and it's going to be in your Downloads folder. So at the bottom left of your screen, you're going to select the File Explorer, it looks like a little file folder. And then when the window comes up, you're going to select Downloads, which will be the top left side of that window. And then you should see the most recent thing will be this installation software. It should be called ADE underscore 4.5 underscore installer.exe. You'll probably have to double click that to launch the installer, and then just follow the prompts to install. And that's the same for Mac as well. Once you have opened that installer, you just follow the prompts to install. So I'm going to pause the video while I install the software. Welcome back. I just completed the installation of Adobe Digital Editions, and it did open automatically. And now it is prompting me to authorize my computer. This is the reason we created an Overdrive account, because we do need to authorize your computer in order to move the books to your e-reader. So from this little drop-down menu called Ebook Vendor, we are going to find Overdrive. And unfortunately that list is not in alphabetical order, so you just kind of have to hunt for it. But you'll select Overdrive, and then you're going to put in your email address and the password you created when you created your Overdrive account. Then you're going to click Authorize. I'm going to pause the video while I log in. Welcome back. I just finished logging in with my Overdrive account information to authorize Adobe Digital Editions. It did come up with a little pop-up after I clicked Sign In that said it had been authorized. So I clicked OK, and now Adobe Digital Editions has kind of unlocked on my screen. We are done with Adobe Digital Editions for the moment. We're going to come back to it, but we do need to close it out first. So go ahead and close it out, and we're going to go back to our web browser. So I'm returning to Google Chrome, and we are going to start step 3. So up at the top, we're going to type in www.kingsportlibrary.org, and then we're going to go to the Downloads tab, and you have some options here. You can select ebooks and audiobooks over here on the left side. You can select ebooks and audiobooks over here on the right side, or if you just clicked Downloads, you can select ebooks and audiobooks there in the middle. And that is going to take us to the Tennessee Reads website. If it's your first time here, you might get a little pop-up in the middle of your screen, and it's going to ask if you have a library card. Because we're doing this from a computer, you cannot do the digital library card option. I think those can only be done if you're on a cell phone. So you do have to already have a library card number in order to continue. So if you got that little pop-up in the middle of your screen, you would select already have a library card, sign in. If you didn't, like I didn't, then you can click sign in up here on the right side. Then if you've never been here before, you may not have Kingsport Public Library and Archives selected. So you may have to click in the drop-down menu and locate Kingsport Public Library and Archives, because this list is all of the public libraries in the state of Tennessee. Once you have that selected, you'll click into the little text box that says barcode, and you're going to put in your library card number, the whole number with no spaces. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video while I type in my barcode number, and then I'm going to click sign in. Welcome back. I just logged in using my library card number, and now I'm on the main page of the Tennessee Reads website. So whenever I do a one-on-one tech session with someone about how to use our ebook system, one of the very first things I like to do when we log into Tennessee Reads is to adjust the checkout period. So we're going to go ahead and do that. You're going to go up to the top on the right side and click My Account, then Settings. And then as you can see here in the middle, you can adjust the lending period or checkout time for every item type that you can check out on Tennessee Reads. Now for e-readers, the only item you can check out and transfer to your e-reader are ebooks, so that's the only one we are going to adjust. As you can see, the default is 14 days. If that's plenty of time for you, you can leave it there. if it's not enough time, if you're not a very fast reader, you can just select 21 days. Okay, and as you can see, that does save automatically. And then we're going to go back to the main page of Tennessee Reads. So up at the top on the left side of the website, they have the Tennessee Reads logo. If you click that, it will return you to the main page. And that's true for anywhere on the website. So if you are on a deep dive into results for, James Patterson, and you want to get back to the main page, all you have to do is go to the top and click the Tennessee Reads logo, and it will return you here. So we are officially on step 3, which is where we are going to look for and check out ebooks from the Tennessee Reads website. So once you're on the main page of the Tennessee Reads website, you do have some options on how you locate a book you want to check out. If you scroll down, there are some pre-made categories that you can browse and see if there's anything of interest there. Those categories are created by librarians at the state and regional level. So if you don't know what you want to check out and you want some suggestions, those are a great option. Then if you scroll back up to the top, we have a tab called Subjects. If you click there, it will take you to genres. So there's a fiction section up top, and it's broken down into genres like romance, mystery, science fiction. Down below that, there's a nonfiction section. And again, it's divided up into genres. So religion and spirituality, biography and autobiography, business, etc. So up at the top again, there's also a tab called Collections. If you click there, there's a little subsection called Ebooks, and then you can browse, you can click in and browse things like Available Now ebooks, ebooks that are series starters, new ebook editions, most popular, things like that. And then of course over on the right side here, there's also a search bar. If you click search, it opens up the little text box, and you can type an author or a book title. If you know what you're looking for, this is the best way to search. So the first thing we're going to try is to look for a specific book. So I'm going to type in a title, and I'm going to search for Little Fires Everywhere. And here are all our results. So Little Fires Everywhere just had a new TV show come out on Hulu, so it's very popular right now. And as you can see, it says above the items, wait list, and then instead of saying borrow, it says place a hold. The digital collection works exactly like the physical collection. So there are only a limited number of copies per book. So just like you'd come into the library and, there's a really popular book, it's all checked out, the same thing can happen in the digital collection. Little Fires Everywhere is very popular right now. All of the copies are checked out. So we will have to place a hold. Before we do that, I do want to point out that Tennessee Reads does show you which items are ebooks and which items are audiobooks. So these two look like they're the same if you just look at the cover, but if you look under the author's name, it actually tells you what type of item it is. So this one is an ebook, and there's a little book symbol, and the one on the right is an audiobook, and there's a little headphone symbol. So with e-readers, you're going to want to stick to ebooks because you cannot load audiobooks to an e-reader. So we are going to place a hold on the ebook copy. It's going to come up and pop up and say success. Little Fires Everywhere has been placed on hold. Your hold position is number 16 on 102 copies. If it was your first time placing a hold, it will come up and ask you for your email address, and that's just so that they can contact you when the item becomes available to you. Okay, so let's search for something that is available that we can check out. So let's go back to the search bar and erase Little Fires Everywhere. And this time let's search for an author. So let's search for J.D. Robb. And now we have a whole page of results for the search term J.D. Robb. And in fact, we actually have multiple pages of results for JD Robb. So we're going to find one that's available. As you can see, like before, some say waitlist and place a hold, and others say available and borrow. The ones that you can check out right now are the ones that say available and borrow. So we're going to check out Connections in Death. So I clicked borrow, and then I click borrow again. And it comes up with a little pop-up that says success. Connections in Death is checked out to you until April 30th, 2020. You can borrow 14 more titles. So you can check out up to 15 items at a time. If this was the only book you wanted to check out, if you like to just have one out at a time, you would go ahead and click Download EPUB ebook. But if you wanted to check out more so that you can go ahead and load up your e-reader, you would just click the little X. And I'm going to click the little X because I want to show you where you would find that download button if you closed out of this little window. If you checked out more items or you just accidentally hit X, I want to show you where you can find this download button once it goes away. So we're going to click X. And up here at the top of the screen, over on the right side, there are 3 little books. Kind of looks like a bookshelf. You're going to click there, and it will take you to your loans page. This is the page that will show all of the items that you have currently checked out. As you can see, Connections in Death is right here, and that download button is available again. If you had multiple titles, they would all show up here. They'd have their own little boxes, and they would each have a download button. So if you checked out, 3 or 4 items, you would have to click download for each one. I'm going to go ahead and click Download EPUB ebook, and the process will be exactly the same for each one. It just downloaded, and now it is in my Downloads folder. Again, just like it was when we installed Adobe Digital Editions, it's down here in my dock. If you are on a PC, it would be in the Downloads folder. So you'd go to the File Explorer, then to the Downloads folder, and it would be there. But before we click that ebook that we just downloaded, what I would really like you to do is plug in your e-reader to your computer. So get that USB cord, you'll plug the USB port into the back of the computer, and then you will plug the smaller micro USB into your e-reader and turn it on. Once you have done that, then you are good to go ahead and select that ebook file, and it will automatically open in Adobe Digital Editions. All right, so it has now installed on Adobe Digital Editions, and it even opened it on Adobe Digital Editions. So I'm actually in the ebook, and you can definitely read it here. It isn't the easiest format to read, but since we are talking about e-readers, we are going to go back to the library, which is up on the left side. There's a little Go to Library View button. We're going to click there to go back to our Adobe Digital Editions bookshelf. And as you can see, it is here. And this is one that I had checked out before on a different version of the video, but this is the one that we just did. Now, I do not have an e-reader to plug in, so I can't show you in the screencast what it will look like to transfer the book to your e-reader, but I do have some screenshots, so I'm going to go back to the slides so that I can show you. Okay, so once your e-reader is plugged in and you've reopened Adobe Digital Editions, there will be a new heading over on the left side of Adobe Digital Editions when you're looking at the library bookshelf view. The heading will be Devices, and then it will show your device and have your device's name. Your device could be named anything, really. It could say Emily's Kindle, Nook 3. It could have a very strange name like the one shown here on the screen, but you do want to see it there. Once it's there, you can click the book that you want to transfer to your e-reader, and you're actually going to click and drag the book to your e-reader. And so what I mean by that is you're going to press down on the mouse, and you're going to keep your finger pressed down as you drag the item over to your e-reader, and you want to make sure that a little plus sign shows up. That means that it's, you're hovering over the right place. And once that plus sign shows up, you can release the button, and it will transfer the book onto the e-reader. And you can do that if you have multiple books, like this bookshelf has 4 books, you would have to do that for each one. Okay, so you've transferred all of your books to your e-reader. Now you would close Adobe Digital Editions, and you're going to eject the e-reader, because we want to make sure that you safely eject the e-reader from your computer. So I'm going to exit the slides because I want to show you how to do that. So I'm going to pull up Adobe Digital Editions, and you want to close it out. Then you are going to, if you're on a Mac, you're going to go to Finder. Over on the left side of Finder, there's going to be a device. It'll be whatever the same name of your e-reader, it'll be there. Again, I don't have an e-reader, so I'm just showing you with something else. But it'll look similar to this in that there will be a little eject button, and that is what you're going to want to click. And then it disappears, and that means you're safe to unplug it. I'm going to go back to the slide so I can show you how you eject the e-reader on a PC. So to eject your e-reader on Windows, select the File Explorer on your taskbar again. And when the window comes up, over on the left side, down low, so quite a bit lower than the Downloads folder that we've been going to, you will see the name of your e-reader. And you are going to right-click it, so using the right side of your mouse. It'll bring up a little menu, and you're going to click Eject. Once you click Eject, wait a couple seconds, and then you should be good to unplug your e-reader. Congratulations! You now know the basics of using Tennessee Reads with your e-reader. If you get stuck or need help loading ebooks to your e-reader, feel free to call the library at 423-224-2539 for assistance. Thank you. Have a great day.